Yes, yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous three-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
Yes, yes. We are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And I'm your host, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? Another Saturday, another day full of sports. I'm talking about full of sports, man. It's in the sports world starting to seem a little normal. But man, I pray you all are healthy, safe, and it's time to get to the show, man. And once again, this is the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And yes, I am not doing this by myself. Of course, I got the one behind the scenes, on the scenes, making it happen, my guy G. What up, G?
Yo.
Then I got my road dog partner in crime, my man D Intellectual. What up, bruh?
What up, what up, what up?
How you feeling?
I'm good. How about yourself, bro?
I'm good, man. College football is
It's trying.
and looking kind of normal, but
It's not looking kind of normal.
I mean,
Impossible. Right.
I mean, they play 4.6 games a season, this season, but still, I mean, it wasn't college football without SEC. I'm sorry, that didn't seem right. But just the fact that the SEC is coming to play, it's, like I said, it looks normal for the time being. Just okay, that's cool. But other than that,
I see what you did there. Big Ten's coming back. Pac-12's coming back. Who cares? No one cares. The SEC's playing.
Hey,
that's what matters.
get off my Big Ten.
And Pac-12, what?
Yeah,
in November.
Yeah, they come back in March. No, I'm just playing. December 25th. Hey, get off my Big Ten, man. Get off my Big Ten. I love my Big Ten. I'm just saying, living here in the South, you see SEC. It just don't seem right not showing up. And I'm just saying SEC because Big Ten not coming until about 8 weeks later. Right. So, but still.
They caved.
We got a big game. The Bears got a big game. So,
Shout Atlanta.
Nervous
Shout
about
Atlanta.
that. But either or, yes, it's like I said, it's a good weekend, man, for sports. And we have a great show for you all today. We are talking about college football. We're talking about not just the SEC coming back today and Pac-12, but what does it mean? They're talking about bowl games and everybody's bowl eligible no matter what your record is. How will this affect? Are they going to do the national championship, especially with teams only playing a certain amount of games, more games in this conference? So we're going to get into that. Also, NBA playoffs. Miami couldn't knock them out. What does this mean? Does Boston have a chance? Just they have a chance. They're still alive, but can we see Boston doing it? And then with the Lakers-Denver series, did the Lakers fall for the banana in the tailpipe since Denver's down 3-1?
Got them where they were.
Right. We're going to get into that, how Denver can come back or how L.A. can close them. Also, man, NFL, Carson Wentz. What's going on with that situation? So definitely going to get into that. And then we're going to get over the overreactions. We're here in Atlanta with the Falcons. That game, everybody reacted, and which they should have. As after a loss, I understand. I'm a football fan, so I know how it is. But now that it's been a couple of days, is everybody saying still fire Dan Quinn, get rid of Julio, all this good stuff? Is it their fault or what? We're gonna get into that. And then we have MLB heading to the playoffs this week.
Yes.
So yeah, it's about to get real. That's to me. That's some good baseball right there. So we have guest Cortland Griffin, the 3-point conversion MLB analyst, coming on to talk about the playoffs and teams heading into the playoffs and what he foresees happening. And then we have Dr. Fowler coming in. Bruh, it was Bloody Sunday, wasn't it, last week?
Man.
So, yeah, we're not only going to talk about specific injuries, but why the influx of injuries on
And
Sunday.
they weren't hamstrings, right? Like you could expect hamstrings.
No, look, it was hamstrings too. It was all of it. It was crazy.
Hamstrings getting torn.
Yeah, hamstrings
out.
mean you out of shape. ACLs
Right,
mean
Geez.
I don't know.
oh, something's going on.
Yeah. So,
Corona.
or something. I know, right? And we have quick hits, what's on our mind, the stop it segment. So let your family and friends know they can listen to the show live locally here in Atlanta on 1100 AM WWWE The Real on the radio station. Yes, this is a radio station. For the people that look at it on social media, they don't think so. It's a radio show. But also, we are live on the 3-point conversion Facebook page. What up, what up? Then we're on TuneIn Radio. We're on iHeartRadio and the app WWWE. Just go to that app, 1100. So it's time to get to these quick hits. Let's get it. Shout out to Sherm Beats for the sick beats. All right, so first off, all charges have been dropped against New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft. I mean, did y'all think they were going to go through with this? And other men accused of soliciting prostitution at a Jupiter, Florida spa after the court ruled by surveillance videos could not be used in the case. I wonder why. I want to say this. Are you guys go on? Okay. So let me go on. State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg said during a virtual press conference that without surveillance video of the man, including Kraft, allegedly purchasing sex at the Orchards of Asia Spa, there was not enough evidence to continue with the case. I mean, yeah, I knew that. That's what I was going to say. So with him saying that, with everything going on, I know people listen to the radio can't see me, but you think it was about that bread?
Yeah, I think when the other men saw that they were on a case with Robert Kraft, they could have been like, hey, yes, the one time I get caught, I was on with Robert Kraft. Like, I'm good.
Right.
What was the reason the key surveillance videos couldn't be used in the case? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the reason?
That was not specified.
Exactly.
So,
you know what I'm saying? That's huge
but
because
the main evidence you need,
it can't be
right.
Like, come on. Because you can see them going in there, but if you don't have them buying
actually, there's a reason. There are cameras inside, but those were
the company, the businesses.
Well, no. It was through whoever was investigating.
Yeah.
But they put them in like without the proper.
They didn't get a warrant.
The proper channels.
They didn't get a warrant to put them in.
Yeah,
there.
basically.
Oh, okay. Hey.
So
I mean, you didn't have a case from the beginning. You really shouldn't have been arrested.
So that's all.
'Cause all you did was make news, and to be honest, most people have forgot about it. You know what I mean? And I don't mean completely forgot about it. If you mention it, they'll remember, but it's not being talked about. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Unless jokes or something.
The ending thing of it is that what you thought was going to happen.
Yeah, right.
Like, come on, man, a billionaire.
Right. Moving on. Tom Brennaman, you all remember him. He was the guy that he was a great play-by-play guy, but he made a racial slur and didn't know the mic was on. I mean, wasn't no speculation about it, what he said. I mean, he said it, you know.
Said what you said.
Right. But then he admitted, and he apologized on air. You know, he was sick. He knew it was a rap. So he has resigned as a Cincinnati Reds broadcaster. So note, I'm going to say that again. He has resigned as a Cincinnati Reds broadcaster. 1 month after he used an anti-gay slur on the air. On August 19th, like I said, he made a statement. You knew it was about to be a wrap. But my thing is, because he said he's resigned as a Cincinnati Reds broadcaster, you think he still would do broadcasting? You think this will be like Kraft? They will wait till it kind of go over, and after a year he can come back?
No, that doesn't go away. Ask Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
That doesn't go away.
Because Tim Hardaway's still not in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
That doesn't go away.
Well, but see, that's different, though. That's why I say a Hall of Fame, no, because you were always considered to be a great.
Tim Hardaway was doing a lot already, right? He was on channels. He was doing a lot of analysts.
He was horrible as an analyst.
But he was doing it. He was there.
He was there. On what?
He was. What did he? Where was he when he did it? When he said what he said?
He was on the radio. It was a radio.
It was a radio show.
Right. Oh, he's not doing any of that now.
Oh, I thought he was still doing radio. I know he making moves though outside.
Yeah,
I know that.
He's still making moves, but he's not. That's one of them things you don't get past. You don't get past because of how the LGBTQ is. They got a lot of not just power, but they are in a lot of circles. Right. They run a lot of things. That's not one thing.
And I think I think still that's going to be his motive to try. And I'm not disagreeing because I agree that that's something that's kind of.
I think that it's a stop it because you resign. He resigned. He didn't get fired. He decided, I'm sure it was a mutual thing. You're going to go ahead and resign instead of us firing you. No, you should have got fired.
Stop it.
You don't resign after doing nothing like that. You get fired.
Yeah, but, moving on. The Purdue Boilermakers wide receiver, Rondale Moore, has reversed his decision to opt out of the 2020 season, just like 15 other people has done this week, and will play for the Boilermakers this season. In 2018, Moore was the first true freshman in Big Ten history to be named consensus All-American and won the Paul Horning Award as the nation's most versatile player. He played in only 4 games in 2019 due to a hamstring injury. So this is normal. I mean, a lot of people are doing this because they get a chance to play. Like I told you, people's opting out. Why play if we're gonna play in March? Knowing if now with his case, I don't know if he would he be eligible to come out this year? He would be eligible.
Yeah, he's a junior.
Yeah, so he would be eligible. So why play in spring knowing that
the draft
is gonna mess you? Yeah,
right.
So I understand everybody opting in. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And as we see it, more people are going to opt in, I'm sure.
Yeah, so like, that's pretty normal. It makes sense.
Not to get back on Tom Brennaman, but maybe he should have got fired so he could have got his unemployment.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, he tripping. New York Yankees outfielder Giancarlo Stanton, or Mike Stanton, some of you know Mike Stanton, will not opt out of his contract, which has 7 years and $218 million remaining after the season. Like, who would? But this is the crazy part, though. Stanton has, he only played 39 games since the start of 2019, excuse me. But Joker missed about 500 games. But anyway, because Stanton is not opting out, the Yankees will receive $30 million in relief from the Marlins, a condition of the trade that occurred in 2017.
First off, did anybody think he was opting out?
I mean, I don't know. It wasn't in the news. It just all of a sudden he's not opting out. No one thought he was.
Right.
It's just like you said, Otto Porter not going to opt out. Duh! So, getting 24 million.
So listen, here's the crazy part. The Yankees get $30 million.
They want that 218. We want you to opt out.
No, but he wasn't getting that. But I'm just, what was the Marlins thinking though?
To get rid of that contract, we'll give you $30 million to get rid of this contract.
When you're trading a big contract like this,
the
team that's getting was like, look, we can't pay all of this. Because you got to pay some of it because you signed him to the contract.
You figure
we'll pay him.
You figure he opting in for 7 years for 218, so he been there 2 other years, right? So what was it, 9 years for like probably 300 almost or something like that, right? 260. So it
was for $325.
Right. So the Marlins like, yeah, absolutely, we'll give you $30 million.
So look, I know, right? So look, this is what I understand too. We kind of swept this under the rug for years. This Joker. So he must think Giancarlo is like, that's a dope name. It's better than Mike. Shout out to all the Mikes out there. Like,
he wanted to go back to his roots, man. Okay. That's what I think it was about. Mike is more Americanized, right? Giancarlo is like Hispanic. Hispanic. It's more Hispanic, right?
That Joker was in the club and he told him his whole name. Ooh, I like that name.
Yes, I mean,
so like, you know what? Hey,
Giancarlo's a little smoother than just Mike. Mike. I mean, Giancarlo.
He is black and Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And last but not least,
that's where the Mike came from. That's where the Mike came from, Mike.
Right. What up, Mike? Hey, get the button ready. Last but not least, former UFC champion Conor McGregor tweeted on Friday that his next fight will be against boxing's only 8 division world champion, Manny Pacquiao.
Stop it.
This is a bout against Pacquiao would be McGregor's second professional boxing bout. Y'all know he fought Mayweather in 2017, so come on, y'all. Like, I don't get this.
I'm not mad at McGregor for your first fight to be against Floyd and your second fight to be against Manny Pacquiao. But he might be on his deathbed when he get up out of there.
Then they might be fighting in Jerusalem. I mean, the Middle East. Like, the fight could be in the Middle East, dog.
I mean, Saudi Arabia is a possibility. Saudi Arabia is trying to make things happen.
Yeah,
with these sporting events.
I see.
They're trying to make it happen.
They trying to get to it. He gonna check a bag, but he better. I hope he know that Pacquiao hit a lot harder than Floyd.
So is Pacquiao's trying to make this loot
into that bag.
So I guarantee you, next year we're gonna see. Shout out to my guy. We're gonna see kind of announcing he's fighting Evander Holyfield. Like, come on, bro. Like, do you think he's really trying to get into boxing, or is it that UFC not mess with him no more, or he need money?
I figured UFC ain't paying him the bag that he want. You know how much money he got off of them fights?
Off of fighting Mayweather, he made 150
million.
But
that made sense, though. I get that, because that was...
But it would take him 15, 20 years to make that much in just UFC fights.
No, what I'm saying is, though, I understand that the fight with Mayweather, too, because... That was Mayweather retired. It was, you know what I'm saying?
The Pacquiao gonna check a bag too. It ain't gonna be 100, but it's gonna be a nice amount.
Pacquiao come
in.
You
figure 50 to 70?
At least 100.
Yeah, hey, you gonna come in smiling. You know how you be like, "Hey guys," when Pacquiao come into the ring.
Man, he gonna knock him. He gonna knock him
out. All right,
out.
man. We gotta go ahead and take a break, but we'll be back with the hot topic next.
You gonna knock him out.
Good morning. This is Greg Hurd with your sports news break. The Atlanta Falcons look to get their first win at home against the 2-0 Chicago Bears on Sunday. Julio Jones is listed as questionable, nursing a hamstring injury. The Washington football team travels to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Both teams are at 1-1. The Atlanta Braves beat the Boston Red Sox 8-7 in 11 innings last night. Freddie Freeman's game-winning home run in the 11th inning was his 13th of the season. The Atlanta Hawks started minicamp this week. Trae Young said he wants to change the narrative of he only cares about stats and says all he worries about is winning. The Georgia Bulldogs start their 2020 football season on the road again today against the Arkansas Razorbacks. The Bulldogs are ranked number 4 in the country. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets look to bounce back after their first loss against the 1-1 Syracuse Orange. Make sure to follow the 3-Point Conversion for all your sports news and updates and all of our social media outlets and the 3pointconversion.com.
Hey folks, just a quick reminder that no matter the time of the day and no matter what day of the week, East Coast, West Coast, all points in between, we are always on. So go to your app store and download the Real 1100 app and listen wherever and whenever.
The Real.
This is the Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk, and you're listening to 3-Point Conversion.
ready. From the oven to your ears, it's now time for the Hot Topic.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. I am your host, Mr. Controversy. My co-host, The Intellectual. And, as we promised, college football has taken a big step. Right now, college football, it looked like they have Power 5 back. Pac-12 voted yes to playing a 7-game season. We knew Big Ten last week came in and said they voted yes. SEC starts today. And then you had ACC and Big 12 already playing. Mountain West have voted yes to playing an 8-game season.
The MAC is all as well.
MAC as well. So with all of that being said, let me say this. So the College Football Committee has said that they're allowing all the teams to be bowl eligible now, no matter what your record is. I don't care if you 0-12. So Georgia State, Georgia Tech, McDonald's University, all of them are bowl eligible, no matter what. Your thoughts on that? Do you agree with that? Like, look, man. Let me say this real quick, D. I'm old school. I know everybody talk about, oh, Raphael, you always get off my lawn. I remember the good old days where you had to be good to make a bowl game. But after hearing this, to let y'all know, let my company know, I've already submitted the name, the 3-Point Conversion Bowl in Decatur, Georgia. So we're going to try to get that going.
What high school this game play?
Right. I know, right? But I submitted already my request. But it's like,
it don't make no sense. It already got bad since some 5-5 teams and 6-5 teams in it. Now you really saying that a 1-7 team could be in the bowl. Like, come on, man. Who want to see that game?
Right.
That school?
Right. To get because they definitely gonna get some cash for going to the bowl, so they're gonna
right.
do that. You know what I mean? But no, man, it don't make no sense. But I guess what they trying to say is like we giving everybody the opportunity. COVID, like that's it. COVID come like, yeah, we just want some football. We're gonna get everybody some football. So whoever here, y'all can get a bowl. You get a bowl. You get a bowl. Everybody get a bowl.
So does it mean that? Because of, is it more of, okay, from what y'all been through, the players, we're going to do this, or is it colleges because we're not making money?
Yeah, it's about colleges and the money. It's never about the players.
So do you see players opting out? Not opting out, but because you know how in the past.
Not playing in the bowl?
Yeah.
Except some. I mean, but if you 1-7, you probably didn't go to that bowl game anyway to get the exposure.
Right. It's for real, especially
you know
like
what I mean?
said, yeah, especially Quick Trip University and all of them.
It's just another reason for us to say, hey, this season don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? Another reason to be like, hey, who's honoring this season?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, it's sad. It's sad. Damian Adams in the chat room talking about McDonald's Tech versus Burger King A&T in the 3-Point Conversion Bowl. Hey, man, I hope we get some better teams than that in our bowl game. But you're right. I'll take it.
Dude.
I will take it. But we'll have G doing play-by-play. But no, I'll
be the sideline reporter.
Right. I definitely understand, it's a cool gesture. And I guess it calls for desperate, measures. I mean, you think about what has been going on. I guess it's like, you know what? Let's all just forget it.
Man, it's a participation award. Remember in school, not when we was in school, but nowadays that you get an award for even participating. And we be looking at it like, you don't get no award for participating. You first, second, or third. If you ain't in there, you don't get nothing.
Right.
This is a participation award.
So with the conferences, having limited games, and because like I said, SEC will play 9 games now?
Yeah,
9 games. Big Ten will play 8, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pac-12's playing 7.
7. Mm-hmm. The MAC is playing 2.
2.5. 2.5.
So with all of that, how do you? Because they haven't said they're not doing the playoffs, right? That's supposed to.
Yeah, nothing's changed as far as the playoffs go.
So how does that affect that? How can you say this team?
Right, because let's say you get a Big Ten team that goes 8-0, but then you get an SEC, 4 SEC teams that go 9-0. So that's the four teams that's going to be in the college football.
That would be the SEC fans' dream, but I think the college football playoff always tries to
get different.
They try to get the Big Ten in there. Always try to get the Big Ten in there.
So, but how
meaning Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Right. So let's say
if it's Iowa, they're not getting in.
Right.
Because now, we know now for the most part, if you lose one game,
it's over with.
So if Kentucky, they probably won't because it's the SEC. But
it's COVID season. Anything can happen.
But no, I was gonna say if some team goes 9-0,
if Illinois goes 8-0,
if Illinois goes 8-0,
they will have to beat Ohio State at that point, then, right?
Right.
Yeah. If
they're saying they get lucky, but I'm just saying how can you look? I say this, Clemson. Now we talk about playing.
Who that was they played last week?
White Castles? They played White Castle State?
The Citadel, which there is a castle related to their campus.
And Trevor Lawrence, he did exactly what I said he was going to do. 13 for 14.
In the first quarter.
19 touchdowns.
Right, in the first quarter.
First quarter.
So, but I'm saying with them, because they don't play anybody. Really. They're not playing. I don't think they play Notre Dame. Notre Dame is not on their schedule, are they?
But not just that. So Notre Dame had to give up a game this week, right?
Right.
So how does that affect them in the national championship?
And that's what I'm saying.
Well, if it was postponed, then they may be able to reschedule.
Was it postponed or just it was postponed as of right now?
Postponed. Like all these games been postponed, which I don't know how they're going to play. If now
it was a conference game.
Yeah.
Now that Notre Dame is in the conference,
but and that's a good.
That sounds weird too, though.
But that's a good point because if you're doing makeup games when at the time it should be a playoff game, you're supposed to get that rest. How does that affect the team, and how does that affect everybody else?
They got to play on Wednesday.
Yeah, and then we all got to. Well, not we, but with everybody else, we got to vote. You know what I'm saying? Media, whatever, whoever voting, they got to wait to vote. Which I just.
And then because if it wasn't a crazy game, Notre Dame wins, but they don't win handily. Then you're going to penalize them for having to play this extra game when they thought their season was going to be over. And
so if that's the case, then I just say if they're doing every team getting the bowl game, just leave it like that. Don't do that. This is not right. You got Georgia. It's not fair to Georgia. You got my man, what's his name? Jamie
Newman.
Jamie Newman. He's not playing. He opted out.
It's going to be 376 bowl games.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of bowl games, but the big teams you don't have people opted out. So let's just not do a playoff.
Yeah, just play 1,000 bowl games.
Just do it like that, and just
have it go back to the BCS era, 1 versus 2 in the championship. There's no
playoff
semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's a good option.
Right. Or if they want to do it, or do it differently. We'll pick. You could do 18. No, you can't. Can you do 8? Yeah, you could do 8 teams, I think.
We're not trying to play all these extra games.
We're
trying to decide this as quickly as possible.
But I'm saying the 8 teams, they don't make the bowl game. I'm just saying if you're not going to do, you shouldn't do a playoff. If you're doing everything else weird, then let's do an 8 team.
Okay, we'll go back to the pre-BCS era to where the bowls just pick
determine
their teams.
Right.
And if you rank high enough, maybe you could win a national championship if you win the game.
So let me ask you this.
What about just no national championship?
No, you gotta have a national championship.
There has to be a national championship.
So with the SEC returning today, and we talked about Big Ten, Pac-12, talked about Mountain West, do you feel like, especially with like SEC and Big Ten, do you think they will have a better chance of saying, okay, we're gonna win the? We're gonna make sure we don't get sick, and they're not the students not acting crazy because they saw how it affected all these other college games, do you think they will have a better control of it?
No, I don't think nobody has a control of it other than the NBA. Other than the NBA. The CDC says something every week. They just earlier this week, I think they said that it can last on droplets. Then I think there was talk of there's a new mutation that will be able to get through masks and washing your hands. And I go, like, dude, we don't know, so I don't think there is no control of it if your name isn't the NBA. The NFL somehow is figuring it out. I don't know how they figured it out, but they're doing a very good job of it.
They're responsible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what they are. So that's why I'm wondering if, but it's kids. It's hard to do that. All right, real quick, SEC team you most intrigued about today?
Florida. They haven't been top 5 in a long time. They playing up against the Lane Kiffin team, and he's excited to be back in the spotlight. Never know what he's going to do, so I want to see what Florida going to do.
My SEC. Oh, go ahead, G. You got one?
Yeah, I was going to say Ole Miss.
That was mine. Yeah, that was mine.
And Mississippi State, like, it's just going to be the whole state of Mississippi as far as college football is going to be very interesting.
Glad you said because of college football.
Yeah.
They don't have a pro team.
Yeah, nothing else.
Right. You're right.
They do play in the Saints, though. But go ahead.
And then I guess because I was going to go Ole Miss too, but I guess since you're going Ole Miss, I'll say Georgia. Georgia and LSU. LSU just want to see how they bounce back.
They kind of rebuild them, right?
Yeah, because they lost a lot.
Yeah.
But then Georgia, I want to see what happens. Newman's not there anymore. I want to see if they're able to beat Georgia. I mean, like you said earlier, this season's weird. This year's weird, so you just never know. I won't be surprised, like I said, Kentucky mess around and win. I mean, it's just weird right now. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back to talk some NBA playoffs.
Yes. Bubble action.
Don't go anywhere.
Or just 6. The staff here at Real 1100 AM would like to encourage you to social distance yourselves. While you may feel disconnected, you can always connect with us at real1100.com. So remain at a safe distance. Call, text, or email a friend and tell them to join you at real1100.com.
What's up? This is Vince Carter. You're listening to a 3-Point Conversion. Check it out.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Last night, we saw the Miami Heat unable to close out the Boston Celtics. Celtics played well in the second quarter. When you look at that game, first thing, or what you think about the results and everything, what pops out at you?
Boston had a bad first quarter. Quarters 2 through 4, they played a good game. Second quarter, they only got outscored, I think, 1 point, or they outscored them by 1 point. So, minus their first quarter, they had the game under control pretty much. I didn't expect Boston not to come out and show up and play hard. They're not a championship team because they haven't won, but they are a battle-tested playoff team, even though they're young. I mean, the one person that isn't as battle-tested as them is Kemba, and he played okay yesterday. I just see him trying to be, and I think I spoke to you about this a little bit. I spoke to somebody else about it, whoever it was. I see him like trying to be the man, even though he's not really the man. And it could be he trying to prove his worth or whatever the case may be. I like how he's attacked and he's doing his thing, but I think he should let Tatum, control the game a little bit more and kind of let the shots come to him. But Boston did what I expected them to do. I didn't expect them to just come out and not perform.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because I look at it a little differently. I think Boston played horrible first and second quarter. Miami let their foot off the pedal in the second quarter because Miami was up, and midway through the second quarter, going to the midpoint, Boston was lost. Mm-hmm. But I think Miami started settling. And I understand shooting threes, that's their game. But because their game is more so on the defensive end. But they kept shooting threes and they were off. They couldn't hit anymore. And go to the hole, and it wouldn't go to the hole. Another part, shout out to Ray, my man Ray Lynn. Y'all know who Ray Lynn is.
And coming out in the third quarter, it kind of seemed like they were like, oh, we're up 8-7.
Right. What's his name? Jimmy Butler was 1 for 5 in the whole second half.
Hero didn't really do anything till like the last, 7 minutes?
No. He was 1 for 5 in the second half.
No, I said Hero.
Oh, Hero. I thought you said he didn't really. Hero. He didn't really come alive to like the. Right. Like he started coming. Yeah. So.
Bam played horrible.
I don't blame Miami. Right. And I don't blame Miami because, in a sense, that's not Miami. I would look at a LeBron James type team, and not because he's LeBron James, because how everybody says he needs to do this better. No, just the fact that he's a veteran, he's been in the finals. They know how to close people out, Whereas Miami, that's not their ordeal. Their thing is, we'll come back and beat you. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't expect Miami to just close them out like that. I was shocked at how Boston came out and didn't play well. But must respect, because Tatum came back in the second half. He played awful in the first half, but he came back in the second half.
Got down. Miami didn't play Miami defense.
No, they didn't.
They got a lot of Boston got a lot of transition buckets.
Yeah.
Miami was too busy arguing fouls. They were mad at shots they were missing instead of getting back playing their defense. They played their zone that they usually play 14 times. Mm-hmm. Game 4, they played it 50 times.
Right.
So I just think overall.
Playing the zone is what they normally do. It's what they normally do.
Right.
They played the zone, I think, the most of any team in the league, at least in the top 5. So I think this is similar to game 4 against Milwaukee, to where it's kind of they like you said, they let their foot off the gas. Yeah. But then the next game, they kind of recentered themselves.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's stop playing. Let's go ahead and take care of it.
And you saw, like, during the game, I know Haslam is not playing at all. He's an assistant coach, but he's getting paid like a player. I don't know.
Man, he got the best job in the world.
He has the Juwan Howard job. 2 Juwan Howards on the roster.
2 years straight, too.
Right.
But, he's trying to get them, trying to, light a fire in them and everything. But I think it's just they got complacent, and they knew they got complacent. So this is how they do. There's no rhythm to Miami as far as how they play. They want to come out, shoot a lot of threes. They're going to play zone, but there's no like game plan as far as we're going to get this guy the ball. We're going to get this guy the ball. It's whatever happens.
Yeah.
And because of that unpredictability, that's how they've been successful.
Well,
but when you come out flat.
Right. And Spoelstra is more of, like he used to tell LeBron and Wade, y'all do great on defense. Y'all can do what y'all want on offense.
Yeah. But it was one of them that they weren't doing great on defense.
So what does Boston have to do to win this game, though?
They need to come out not like they did in game, 5? They need to come out at the tip, energized, ready to go playing their game. Hitting threes.
But it's funny because they've done it in every game they lost.
Yeah, they came out in game 1 and 2.
Maybe this is the formula.
Maybe this is the formula.
1 and 2 came out there, man.
You're right.
But no, you're right. And I think they definitely need all 3 to play well. Mm-hmm. I like how you said Kemba. I don't know if it's a psyche. I don't know, because we really hadn't seen Kemba that we thought we were going to see.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like he's trying to find himself. Where do I fit in these playoffs? You know what I'm saying?
This is uncharted territory.
Right. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown has been there. They've been there. You know what I mean? Right. They know what it is. So for Kemba, I think he's trying to pick his spots, right? Like, where do I do here? Where do I do there? And it comes off like he's not doing it at the right time. Right. You know what I mean?
So let's go to the Denver situation, Denver, L.A. The funny thing about the series is, except for one game, every game has been close. Denver could have won game 2.
Game 2, yep.
They won game 3. it was close.
They could have won Game 4.
It was close, and in LA. So it's been, and I'm not just gonna say Denver. When I'm saying Denver could have won, because I'm just saying basically it's not. It wasn't like they got blew out. So both teams have played well in this series. It's been pretty tight.
One of the things I like, you know how people be like after they won Game 3, oh, Denver should be up 2-1, right? Like, I don't like to say that because I don't think LA comes out and plays the same game if they're tied 1-1. LA doesn't play Game 3. Remember how they played Game 3? They were lethargic. They weren't really into it. They're not coming out there like that if it's a 1-1 series or a 2-1 series or whatever the case may be. So I don't really feel that. Do we see Deja? Do you think that we're in the perfect spot? They're down. No, who wants to be down 3-1? Nobody wants to be down 3-1. Can they come back? Yeah, we've seen that. But this isn't. You don't want to be in that situation. But what I want to speak out is about how when I saw that the Lakers, or they say they did, there's word that they didn't, call the league office to talk about LeBron's fouls. Every time we've seen that, what happens to the next game with that team that called the league office? They get more foul, no more free throws, more fouls called or whatever. LeBron had shot 2 or 3 free throws in the first 2 games or something like that, right? It was very low. He came out and shot 13 or 14 free throws. You know what I mean? Some of them were fouls, some of them you can go against. But what I don't like, let's not say the fouls that you did call. I don't like the fouls that you didn't call that could have helped Denver. On 2 or 3 of those plays where LeBron was sticking Murray, 2 out of 3 of them were fouls. Like, and this is an instance where those were big possessions. You put Murray on the line. I think he's 25 for 25 in the fourth quarter in the not even in the series, just period overall in these playoffs. You put him on the line, that changes the game. But to not his credit, but against him, he made 3 bonehead plays, 3 turnovers where you can't make turnovers. One where I think Anthony Davis gave them the ball right back. He threw it right back to him. One was on a pick and roll. He got rid of it trying to give it to Joe. You can't make those turnovers in those plays. So, yeah, the free throws were a big thing, but I think those turnovers were even bigger.
So, G, what do you think they have to do? Denver has to do to take this series over?
I think they have to just have the focus on if LeBron and AD make them beat you by themselves, because it's really iffy if they both get it going and you stop everyone else. So they have to step it up defensively, and someone else offensively, like Grant in Game 3, Grant and Morris in Game 3, someone else has to step it up offensively for Denver. Everyone's kind of waiting around for Michael Porter Jr. to do it, I guess.
And he played pretty well. Here's the thing, though. Rondo is the key.
When you see KCP, Danny Green, or Rondo hit a 3, it's almost you be like, oh, well, I know what this game
right,
is.
But this is what it is. When Rondo's out there, Rondo not only gets LeBron involved, he not only gets AD involved.
Yeah, everybody.
He gets everybody involved. And that's what they were missing throughout the first 3 playoffs. It's just that they over-dominated. They were just a better team than everybody, you know, just because of personnel. Whereas now with Denver, you do have talent all over. No one's hurt. So Rondo is the X factor. I think now if you're Murray, and Rondo plays great defense, but you got to put pressure on Rondo. Get him in foul trouble. Get him tired. Do something, because he's older.
He put the ball where it needs to be. He controls the pace. He know how to read defense. Even if he can't stick Murray because of his size, he know how to read defenses and plays. He's smart.
And then we can't let Joker off the hook. Jokic, and we call him Joker. Jokic, he's looked lost in the last 2 games. Or looked frustrated, like he can't find that rhythm.
You're right, but
scoreless in the fourth quarter, the last two games.
But like to his credit, and this isn't, I don't want to help him, but that fourth quarter, this last one, what rhythm can you get in when he sat out most of the fourth quarter? They allowed him to get back in. As soon as he get in, he get 2. One was a real foul, then he get a phantom foul. So within 30 seconds, he went from having 3 fouls to 5 fouls.
He got it right, but he got to adapt. You have to adapt.
What I'm saying is you can adapt, because they had to take him out literally right after that 5th foul. And
right, but that was last game, right? But I'm saying the game before
you got to show up.
He has to. So I think right now it's weird because he has a weird matchup, and the way they're playing him,
D. Howard D'ing them up.
They're being physical with him. Then on the defensive end, if he's guarding AD, he can't guard AD. Then with Howard, he's trying to play help defense, and Howard coming in with the rebound.
Tip dunks. And that's who I think needs to get more credit than probably anybody for that game, Dwight Howard. He had a double-double. I think he had a double-double in the first half, and it really set the trend of what they were going to do. You know what I mean?
So we'll see real quick. 30 seconds. Does Donovan fit in Chicago?
I think it's a great hire. Remember I told you I wanted Atkinson because of the way he developed players, but once Billy Donovan became available and he was interested in coming here, you really can't knock it. I spoke on it earlier. I think I told a few people about it. To get someone, you talked about Udonis Haslem earlier, to bring a Joakim Noah over to this team, to teach Wendell Carter how to be a pro, to teach Laurie how to be a pro, and you don't have to play. But teaching them how to practice every day, how to be a pro in the locker room, I think it's a great hire, and I think it's definitely going to work.
Think it is, G?
I think it's going to work because we'll kind of see actually what kind of coach Billy Donovan is with young players. Like with Oklahoma City, the expectations rose immediately, and he didn't really. I wouldn't be surprised if people thought he was not a good coach, right. But he has a chance to kind of build his brand and put his name on this kind of team.
And I think that's good because he was that type of coach in college, so I think that's good to see. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break. Bloody Sunday. We're going to find out why, and we're going to get behind all of this, all right? Keep it locked.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
Hey, I'm Stephon Gilmore for the New England Patriots. You listen to the 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion.
All right, we are back inside of...
Broke out a freestyle, boy.
Right. Spaghetti. Yeah, I remember that. No, all right. So we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and we have family in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dr. Fowler, Donnie Fowler III, orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta, in the building. What's going on, Dr. Fowler?
What up, Doc?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Doing well?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing just running around per usual, but can't miss this with all the I don't know, hundreds of injuries that happened last weekend. I'd say.
I thought they was gonna call you at one of the games or something because it was crazy. Well, why? I mean, we see all these injuries. Like I said, I call it Bloody Sunday. We seen the torn ACLs, the hamstrings, all of that, but especially with the torn ACLs, it was like, 4 of them, something like that, 4 or 5. It was people like on the sidelines that practice players you ain't hear about, I think, got them too. It was a lot. But is it because of having no preseason, or was it just a coincidence? Coincidence, or what was it?
Yeah, I mean, again, I do think some of it is probably no preseason. I mean, it doesn't matter how well you're conditioning and how well you're trying to ramp up in practice, and unless you're Rudy Rudiger, you're not going game hard in practice. So you can't replicate that. So when these guys get out there, it's a whole other ballgame. You're not going to hurt your teammates or try to take their heads off in practice, so you can't replicate that game action. So really, these first 4 weeks in a way are kind of like the preseason in my mind, even though those vets usually don't play that much in the preseason. I think you're still going to see these injuries at least for another couple weeks, and then it probably starts to level off by week 5 or 6 would be my best guess. So
that was hilarious what he said about Rudy.
Wait, so did you expect this though before the season? Like, would you? Because
yeah, in a way. I mean, it's honestly probably even a little more pronounced, I guess. I mean, I expected it to some degree, but I think it is more pronounced than I even expected. But in a way, the more I think about it, again, when you're in the preseason, they kind of ramp you up a little bit at a time, in that, you know, you play a quarter and then you play 2 quarters and that kind of thing. Right here, you're out there. Game started 4 quarters, so it is you don't get that same kind of acclimation even in game action. So
now the Los Angeles Chargers doctor accidentally punctured Tyrod Taylor's lungs trying to give him a painkiller shot for his cracked ribs. Are they that close to each other where that mistake happens more so than we think? And how long do you expect Taylor to be out?
Yeah, this is one of those kind of rare things, and as someone who's a team doctor, you cringe when you read about stuff like this. Obviously, it wasn't intentional, but that is something that's. I mean, that kind of pain injection. Anyone who's cracked or even just bruised a rib knows how immensely painful that is. Even just to breathe, take a breath, let alone think about getting hit out on the football field. So it's kind of a common thing to try to control the pain and see if a guy can get out there. But, you know, your lungs are, you know, basically right underneath your ribs. So if you just go a little too deep and you kind of puncture that space, then it collapses or drops your lung. And that's unfortunately what happened with Tyrod. And it's going to be kind of a week-to-week thing. I mean, it sounds like he's doing okay. I would assume probably a couple weeks just to kind of monitor, make sure he's good and gets back out there. It's just one of those unfortunate things that you probably don't hear about as much because, again, it's on the pro level, but it is something that happens.
Okay.
I've had broken ribs and a collapsed lung, so yeah, that's a pain. You can't even laugh. But like, is this like a fireable offense?
My guess is. I'm interested in all honesty, the way it works with a lot of these NFL teams. There's the team doctors, but there's also residents and fellows that are there helping out. My guess is it could have even been a resident or fellow, like a trainee that was doing it, not the head doctor. So it's hard to know. It sounds like from what I heard that Tyrod actually took it pretty well and understood and quote unquote wasn't mad. So I guess I'm not expecting to hear anything about lawsuits or anything like that. It's always one of the things you worry about as a doctor is malpractice. But I don't think it will be fireable, but I certainly think it's going to maybe create a little, almost like a little mistrust with the medical staff, even though obviously it wasn't intentional. So
I think in the collective bargaining agreement, if there is an issue with that a team doctor, that a player went under the medical care of a team doctor, that player can't file a lawsuit.
Oh, well, that's it there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, makes sense. So we saw Michael Thomas last week, you know, before the game, talking about he playing, he good. I'm good, coach. Put me in with the high ankle sprain, but he's about to miss his second game. And you talked about how it usually take 3 to 4 weeks, something like that. Now we see Christian McCaffrey also, he suffered the same, well, not the same, but he had a high ankle sprain as well on Sunday. Slated to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Is it any way that they can get better before the 4 weeks, or is that basically a 4 to 6 week? Because, I mean, if he says he can play, do you want him to be 100%, or is it more of like I guess, is this tolerable?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's early in the season and it's a long season, so you're trying not to rush it back. It kind of seemed interesting that the Saints didn't put Michael Thomas on the IR, which would have brought him back in week 5, yet he's already missed week 2 and now week 3. So unless he makes it back by next week, which I guess is possible. It's kind of like, well, why didn't you put him on the IR? Panthers obviously put McCaffrey on the IR, so he's out at least 3 weeks, and they're saying 4 to 6. So, it's possible to come back sooner. It's well-publicized. Tua, who had 2 bad high ankle injuries, actually had surgery on them to try to speed up the process to get back sooner, where they went in and basically put kind of constructs in there to even further stabilize those ligaments so they could basically go back out there and play and not be at quite as high risk. But obviously that was at the end of the season, trying to get him back for kind of playoff contention. So I think this is a little different NFL season, playing the long game early on. You're not going to do a surgery to get someone back maybe a week or 2 early if it's really not going to make a huge difference in the long run, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Now, with Las Vegas Raiders running back Josh Jacobs, he's questionable with the hip injury he suffered on Monday night. Although he practices, if his hip is still sore and he plays, how could it limit him?
Yeah, I think from what I've seen and read, I think this is probably more precautionary than anything. Obviously, he had a Monday night game, has a short week, so I think they're just doing their due diligence and trying to kind of give him some rest this week, since he doesn't have as much time to be ready for Sunday. I'd expect him to be out there. I don't necessarily imagine that he'll be limited. They've been obviously feeding him the ball quite a bit, and I guess fortunately that's not necessarily being kind of one of those soft tissue injuries that we've talked about, just kind of being more joint, I think, soreness. I think he's going to be okay.
Well, all right, and that's for the fantasy listeners. We all trying to figure out if we're going to start him or not. But, Doc, we thank you for coming on. You have a great weekend. Be safe. If you can, call some of them doctors, man. Give them some tips. Okay, because they need it. Yeah, right. Because we thought he was doing this first, kind of like that must be Justin Herbert's cousin or something. Right. But no, I'm glad you cleared that up. That it happens more so than we think. But all right, man, you have a great and wonderful weekend, sir. Okay.
All right, guys, take care.
All right, thank you. All right, the Stop It segment is next. You don't want to miss it. Keep it locked.
What's happening? It's your man Big T doing big things. Y'all know what it is. ATL Hawks official DJ and Rap City forever. You're checking out the 3-Point Conversion Radio. You dig?
You are tuned into WWE AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
Big ups to our Sports Lounge crew for keeping the airwaves blazing each and every Saturday. But I want to send another special shout out to our team of writers at the 3-Point Conversion. You can visit us at the3pointconversion.com. You can also like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. How about the Gram? How about iHeart? How about Spreaker Radio? How about wherever you need it, baby? We got you covered.
What's up, world? This is Vincent J, aka the Fancy Guru, and here are your fancy facts heading to week 3. It's been a disastrous 2 weeks in a fantasy season with so many injuries to major players. But one person who you should consider starting this week is Carolina Panthers running back Mike Davis. He's not Christian McCaffrey by no means, but he has a great matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers. With quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, who loves throwing short passes, Davis should receive plenty of targets as well as carries, so insert him in your lineup. I'm not a fan of any running backs of the New York Giants this weekend as they play against the San Francisco 49ers. With the signing of Devontae Freeman a few days ago, they'll be using Deion Lewis and Wayne Gallman, which could be a headache. Avoid that backfield entirely until Devontae Freeman learns the playbook. My sleeper pick is Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Russell Gage. With Julio Jones not at full strength with a hamstring injury, Gage will get plenty of targets at home versus the Chicago Bears. Now, if you want to check out more fancy facts, make sure you continue to follow me on the web at 3pointconversion.com.
No mercy. Don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the stop it button.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. This is the time where we like to thank everyone who is listening or watching us live and thank everyone who is supporting us. We appreciate the support, but we also ask you to support not just the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, but the 3-Point Conversion Sports Media Company itself. We appreciate you and we thank you for it. Now, it is time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Yes. S-T-O-P, new word, I-T. Stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, D, it is on you, sir. What is your stop?
Yes, I got two. So this first one is Mr. Kenyon Lambert. Please come down to the court, please. If you guys aren't familiar with who he is, the first part is this really happening? So he broke into the Milwaukee Brewers Stadium, Milwaukee Park. Was it Miller Park? He broke into Miller Park, and he ran the bases. He got on a tractor trailer. Like, he kicked it, right? But the part he's getting to stop it for is because he attempted to write his name in cursive with a tractor.
Wow. That's crazy.
Stop it. Like, first off, you got it there, okay. But can you write your name in the regular penmanship with a tractor? He gonna try to do it in cursive.
Right. That's tripping.
My second one goes to the NFL, ESPN, and whoever was driving that truck. I don't know if y'all were watching the game on Monday when the wide receiver, he's a cornerback. He ran out of bounds and he ran into the truck that was past the yellow line. Mm-hmm. And he laid there as if he was dead. Like he hopped up and ran off. Another guy ran into it. They get to stop it because what was that TV truck doing there?
I think that's the camera. Was that the camera truck?
Yeah, it was the camera truck. But what was it doing? It's not supposed to be there. It was where players literally stand.
Like real close. Yeah, it was like mad close. Yeah, I noticed that too.
What if he had a guy hurt?
Right. Yep, that could have been a lawsuit. All right, my stop it goes to Kendrick Perkins. He's been on a stop it segment a few times.
He can get it every day.
So, I guess because you know what's going on in the NBA and the no defense, the big man not. I don't know, playing to what we're accustomed to seeing. Kendrick Perkins said that if he was playing today, he would average 60 points a game.
Stop it.
Can I get one more?
Stop it.
Bro, you didn't average 7 points during your career.
Kendrick Perkins.
Did you even score 7 total points in your career?
Kendrick Perkins could average 60 points if he was in the high school game with his NBA talents.
No post-up game. No.
Stop it.
It's not happening. We knew what you were saying. We get it, But no, dog. No.
What is with these players saying, I would have averaged this much if I played in today's game? You barely averaged a third of that when you were actually playing.
He didn't average a third of it. He say Doc turned him in. He say Doc turned him into a defensive center, though.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Anyway.
Because it was him and Al, right?
Al Jefferson?
Al was the one scoring, though.
Yeah.
That was a beast.
My stop it goes to, one, it goes to the president for taking credit for the Big Ten and Pac-12 playing football. Yes, they were politicians, and he's like, we need to play college football, and then they decide to play, and then people were asked, like, well, did the president have any influence? They're like, we weren't even thinking about him.
Right.
And he had the nerve to say, "You're welcome." Like, no, not you're welcome. You didn't do anything. So he gets to stop it.
Stop it.
And I know he can get stoppage for much, much worse things, but this is a sports show.
Right.
And my second stop it, if anyone's watching Dancing with the Stars, I know I mentioned that basketball there. And I got a picture to show y'all. The nerve
of Nelly.
The unmitigated gall, the audacity of Nelly.
How dare you?
To put some heels on some Jordan 3s. If you're watching on Facebook Live, you see Nelly. So you can see he's wearing the Jordan 3s, and here's a close-up. He put heels on the Jordan 3s. Just, it's blasphemous. It's sacrilegious. It's just awful. Something is... I don't know whose idea that was.
So DM,
is that a St. Louis thing? Like, there are so many questions.
Because, I guess he had to wear them type of shoes for the dance. What'd you think, man? Like, knowing that he had to wear them shoes for the dance, you don't think that was dope that he did that?
So it was definitely inventive, right? Innovative, right? That was very innovative. But no, I wouldn't do it. Like, go ahead and put on what you need to put on so you can. But I guess it goes into being comfortable, like having to do this.
Then he try to look fly too. Like, yo, let me get some Jordans. But where do
he got them specially made? Like, that's a lot, Nelly.
So
but no, bro.
So do you expect to see if this happens?
If it helps him win?
Not only that you start seeing this trend where, what if next thing you know, Jordan start doing this for women to put, with that, how they be wearing them sundresses with gym shoes and all that. Would you expect to see this? Or somebody try it?
No.
I would
not.
I mean, there are,
not.
as far as for women, there are those Jordan heels. I guess they might be fake, I guess, because I don't see them being sold officially anywhere, but you've seen those Jordan heels.
Right.
Well, he can't. Jordan can't do this. Don't do
look,
this.
You look now. You see the short people looking like 5'5" and shorter. Like,
well,
if we see it, it's because
that's a good idea. They think of that.
If we see it, it's because that racing team needs money.
But since all these new people that buy all these shoes nowadays, you never know what to expect. Like, it done got to the point where it's so many people buying so many quote unquote sneakerheads where I don't know which way is straight. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Nelly, you did that. He was the talk of the town too.
Right, for real.
So I didn't give him the stop, but here it is.
Stop it.
Jesus.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. Here to talk some NFL football, y'all. I'm excited. Can't wait. Keep it locked.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the three-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan just like everybody else. We're not coming in here walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The three-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you, as a sports fan, need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter.
I'm IT, a.k.a. Ike Taylor, a.k.a. Swag, a.k.a. One of a Kind, a.k.a. I don't shoot twos, I shoot threes on the three-point conversion radio.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
AKA.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. So, besides injuries, there was a lot that went on last week in the NFL.
Man.
And I wanted to talk. We got to bring this Carson Wentz situation up. We got to talk about that. But before we get to that, everybody, we all saw the Atlanta Falcons, and tag your Falcons fans on this because I want them to hear this too, I want their thoughts. But we saw the Atlanta Falcons crumble, right? We saw them have a game won, and then next thing you know, they lost it to Dallas Cowboys. It was crazy. We know that. Fans came out. We ready to, fire Dan Quinn. I'm burning all my Falcons jerseys. I heard some Julio need to go. We heard a lot of that. After it's all over, it's been since Sunday. Today's Saturday. 7 days. When you look at it now, the whole situation, do you still feel the same or think they should feel the same?
Yes. I mean, it's just not just this game, but I still think that he didn't have his players ready for that situation. He didn't coach them well in that huddle going into it. The first thing you tell those people
going to what?
Going into the onside kick.
Oh, okay. You speaking of onside kick?
Yeah, and that's the least, because if he had got the ball, they would have won. It would have been, okay, they tried to come back. He didn't teach them 4 players or tell them that as soon as they get to the ball, grab it, whatever the case may be. So yeah, I still think he should get fired. And it's not just this game. We thought he wasn't coming back after last year, but he came back and yeah.
I mean, but do you fire Dan Quinn for the onside kick or do you fire the special teams coach? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not just the onside kick.
So no, I'm right, but I'm going to what he was talking about the onside. That's why I'm saying, like, for that, do you?
Yeah.
Like, that's like the last straw. The onside
kick. Yes. Because as much as you say the special teams coach, yes, because Dan Quinn, if you in that situation and you know you need this game, aren't you walking up to that special teams too saying, hey, y'all make sure y'all get on this ball, whatever the case may be.
But true, but I think that's the last thing from their mind to go to, like, hey, y'all, if that ball don't cross, y'all better, like.
You just lost the lead. You need the ball.
But I guess.
But I'm saying you would think they would know that. On his mind. But I'm saying you would think they would know that. That's what I'm saying.
You go coach that regardless.
That's like me telling you, hey, y'all make sure y'all tie y'all shoes before y'all leave.
No, that's not.
Because that's something
That's not a good comparison.
Yes, it is, because you know.
It's not.
Don't you? Didn't you know that before? Hold on. Didn't you know that before the onside kick?
Yes.
Oh, so why didn't they know? That's my point.
Because that's what coaches do.
No.
Coaches go in there and you say this. You stress this.
Listen what I'm saying.
Just like if it's 4 seconds left, you say, you go to the, do not foul.
No.
Do not foul, right? Even though they know not to foul, right? Do not foul. Do not foul. To foul. Make sure you foul.
But
and what do players do? They let 5 seconds go off the clock and the coach be like, dude, didn't I just tell you to foul?
I promise to God, now you will after this week. Look, after this week, you're going to hear it. But I bet you ask any coach, and coaches, they will say, I've never went and said, hey, the head coach, the head coach, you go,
it just cost you your job.
But what I'm saying is that's the special teams coach. He should be, if anything, Quinn should fire him to make so he's safe. You know what I'm saying? But that was a hell of a kick, though. That kick was hard. But
the kick wasn't nothing. All they had to do was get the ball.
No, that kick was hard. How he made it spin like that. That was hard. But he says yes. Do you also say, like, for everything, you still feel like after that game you don't think it was no overreactions?
No, I don't think it was an overreaction, because I look at it like this: as far as like the focus is on the onside kick and not the 19-point lead,
right,
or the 20-point lead. But with special teams, the special teams coach does not wear a headset. He don't have plays, or he may have like, okay, we're going to run a reverse, something like that. So he has like 2 plays, and then he coaches the onside kick, and he knows all the rules about kickoffs, all the special teams rules. So look, you can pick it up before 10 yards. You don't have to let it go 10 yards. The Cowboys know, okay, we had to let it go 10 yards, but as soon as it hits that 10 yards, go after it. And you saw, I think his name was C.J. Godwin. He kind of boxed somebody out, getting a rebound.
Yeah, they put them out to play.
Julio just standing there. Ridley's just standing there, or was Zacchaeus just standing there? Hurst is on the other side. It was they're just oh well, I guess we got to let it go. It's a live ball when it's 10 yards, but you can pick it up. But it's they're scared that they're not going to be able to pick it up, that they might drop it.
They might.
That's the only reason why
they didn't do it. Yeah,
they weren't aggressive
because they know it. They was scared that right. So I didn't think it was going 10 yards either, but you're right. They should, because that's why I said how the ball was spinning
if you're the kicking team, you can get as close to the ball. You can't touch it.
You can't touch it.
You can be right over it.
But it's
how did the Cowboys let them get in front of? How did the Falcons let them boys get in front of them and box them out? It literally is a circle of Cowboys getting them away from the ball.
Yeah. So I think Falcon fans overreacted. This is why I think they overreact. Well, let me take that back. They reacted the way they should have reacted, because I'd have broke TVs and all that in my house. But I'm saying, after the fact, you look at it, I don't think the loss, it was a bad loss because you lost, but they dominated that game. Even defensively, from what I've seen, defensively, they dominated that game.
They didn't finish.
That's why you lose. That's why you get fired.
All that doesn't matter. They didn't finish the game.
Let me finish. What I'm saying is, though, you dominate that game. They played well. Coach did, and then, like you said, it come to when they're at the goal line, they can't score. Matt Ryan, I think, threw a pick when he was at the goal line. It just, in the fourth quarter, everything went crazy. So my thing is, it's certain times in the season, I always say, you're going to have a crazy game in the season, a game that you should have won, you're going to lose. That's going to happen. It always happens. Now, if this continues to happen, of course, but I just think that after it's over, I think after the smoke clears, it's kind of you know what? Especially him. We know this was a dangerous team. We put the clamps on them. We did this. Now we have to. We've learned our lesson. Let's finish. Let's do this because the team played great. Everybody, all Falcons fans, up to the fourth quarter, you all was y'all was on social media. Y'all thought y'all had it because what you say? Because y'all played great. The thing is, things happened. Dallas did not quit. Let's give them credit. A little, you had some bounces that went certain ways. Even though Gallup catch, I thought was iffy.
After that Super Bowl.
Yep.
This is unacceptable.
No, I agree
was
with
he
that.
on the hot seat already?
Yeah. Well,
exactly. So what does this do? Dude.
No, but I agree with anything.
After
I'm talking about
Super Bowl. That was 4 years ago. Unacceptable.
I agree. I'm just saying as far as the game itself, but I agree. This is why everybody's mad here because of the Super Bowl last year. I agree with that. But I'm saying I thought this game, I thought he did good. I thought it was a great call. I thought the team played well until you had lapses and everything. Speaking of that, having a lapse or not playing well, I have somebody that hadn't played well all season. All game. I mean, the whole game in the two games, and that's Carson Wentz. What do y'all think is the problem? Do you think that? Is it the fact that no preseason, the play calling? He's playing with me and D at wide receivers. He's looking over his shoulder at Tua. He just regressed. Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry, Jalen Hurts. He just regressed. Just after the injuries. What is it? What do you think is the reason?
So shout out to Lowe. He listened every week. He asked me about Jalen Hurts earlier this week. I don't think that he's looking over his shoulder for Jalen Hurts, right? Because I think even if you got Jalen Hurts, you're going to want Jalen Hurts to sit for a year and get in the system, get comfortable, or whatever the case may be, because of all the, I don't want to say labels, but, he had to go to Oklahoma to really progress as a quarterback. So you kind of want him to sit again, continue to progress. But not only that, you can't put Jalen Hurts in because how much are you paying Carson Wentz? You paying him a boatload of money.
A lot.
You paying him a boatload of money. Are you going to pay him a boatload of money to be on the bench? No. And if you trade him, what you going to get? A couple draft picks? That's not even going to be, you know what I'm saying, anything? Is it no wide receivers? He didn't have no wide receivers last year, did he?
No, he had Aguilar.
Aguilar dropped everything that he's
playing with. He had a former college quarterback as his number one receiver.
Who, Terrell?
Greg Ward.
Greg Ward. Right now, all of them hurt. I'm saying he's playing with third. That's what I'm saying. He's playing with third.
No, I'm saying, but he also didn't play with wide receivers last year. His numbers were But it's not just the no wide receivers. The way he's throwing the ball, the passes he's making, the decisions he's making. It sounds like it's regression, period. And you don't really see regression after injury, right? You see them get better and progress and get better. It seems like he's getting worse as a quarterback, albeit we're 2 games in. As opposed to but I don't really want to say the preseason because does he play in the preseason? He plays maybe a half.
No, they usually play, first game, quarter, second game.
No, I thought he was one of the quarterbacks that really didn't play much preseason at all. No, some quarterbacks don't play no
Philly,
preseason.
They play. I think Philly, they play often. I think that's the Belichick play his quarterbacks.
Okay, so even with that, we're looking at the second game. So now if we get to the point we're at the 4th, 5th game and we're talking, he's playing like that, then hey, we're looking at natural regression that maybe defensive players, defensive coordinators have caught on to what he can do and what he can't do.
I think it's a mixture of all of it. I think the preseason definitely. I mean, some quarterbacks playing well, but some quarterbacks not. I mean, this is the guy that's been hurt, so getting back, it might be hurting him a little bit. I think it's rusty. Ben just rusty. Period. Regression. Whatever. He seems like he regressed. I don't know if it's mental. Then, like I said, the wide receivers, bro. You if y'all name his wide receivers, these are guys that shouldn't be a wide receiver in the shouldn't be starting or probably wouldn't start or even second string, but like the rookie's hurt now. Rager, he's out. So like,
Rager's out. Alshon Jeffrey's out. I didn't know Deshaun Jackson was actually still on the team. And they got Arcega Whiteside, but I don't know what he's done yet. But
right, they that's what I'm saying. They got your boy's cousin playing from Portland. Like they don't have anybody. But hold on. But I still think that because of all of this, he know you got this guy that has this it factor behind him, and I think he's really looking over his shoulder.
Who was Brady's receivers last year? We talked about him badly, right? Like he don't have no receivers. He can't do anything, right? We talked about that, right? What is Cam Newton doing with those wide receivers?
Well, N'Keal Harry's healthy.
Yeah, he wasn't healthy.
That was,
and he had Edelman.
He's able to throw to Edelman and able to it's not just short passes to Edelman.
It was because with the Patriots, it was more of nobody was extending the play. Like nobody couldn't run deep routes. He has no receivers. Like his receivers suck. Like, and I mean, notice, okay, not suck.
Then Philly can't take him out. Then.
Let me say he has receivers that are not experienced. I'll put it like that. I don't want to say suck because they're learning and all that.
In the NFL.
All right, yeah. So, speaking of quarterbacks, man, all of these quarterbacks in the league are balling. Well, not all, but a lot of them. Who do you think playing the best right now?
Kyler Murray. That dude is balling out of control.
Or I ask you who impressed you the most.
That's what I mean, impression. I've been playing better because we know.
Right.
We know that. Kyler Murray, man, he is looking great. And I think one of the linebackers, defensive backs, somebody asked him a question, how do you lose DeAndre Hopkins on a play? He's the best player on the field. I was too worried about Kyler Murray, because the way he's running, he's putting the ball there. And not only is he running, how many times y'all seen Kyler Murray get tackled?
Yeah, it seems he always is able to get out of bounds or he slides.
Or he get a touchdown.
Like Russell Wilson, he does not get hit.
He does not get hit. Like he is balling, he's running that, he's playing that they're playing good. They're 2-0. They got a game this week that they can go to 3-0. DeAndre Hopkins took him to another level. Then he balling out of control.
You have a quarterback that impresses you?
Besides Russell Wilson, Cam Newton is back.
Oh, yeah.
He's back.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
I mean, I know they lost that game to the Seahawks.
Play calling.
I like the play call. I just think Cam did not see that dude on the ground that tripped him up. Because he saw the end zone. He did not see that guy on the ground. So I don't mind the play call that much. But the way he's played, like he's doing all the things we've seen him do. Mm-hmm. He's back.
Mine, I can't front. It's Josh Allen. I would have never thought Josh would play like I'm not gonna lie.
Putting up numbers.
I didn't know him. I wasn't following him like that in college. So when he came in the league, they talked about his big arm, but all I saw him do was
running people over.
Yeah, running people over, running the ball, and to his credit,
he's still doing that.
I'm saying he's doing that, but he didn't have any receivers like that.
Right.
Then. So, but the way this dude now
he had receivers. He was just inaccurate.
Yeah.
Well, that too, but
now
what
70%.
receivers he had? But what receivers? I mean, John Brown's the only one. I looked at him as a third string, coming up a second string, I should say.
He had, I know he had Cole Beasley, but he had short receivers. Yeah,
but he has a number one.
He was inaccurate. That was that was the biggest issue with
Allen. Stefan's short too.
But now he's
not like that.
Yeah.
He's not short like Cole Beasley.
Remember, we didn't even know who he was. We thought he
Diggs
was
is 6 feet.
Huh? Diggs is 6. Cole Beasley's like
he's like 5'9".
5'9". He's short. Yeah. John Brown is like 5'9".
The inaccuracy was the big thing with Allen, but now
inaccurate.
He's worked on that. He's at 70%.
He's still trucking people too. Y'all saw that run last week.
He's still fumbling too. So and Matt Ryan has been surprisingly we know Matt Ryan can play, but
I can't believe Julio missed it, dropped that ball.
Yeah, he's been hot. Yeah, that was
Matt
crazy.
Didn't throw that one.
Matt didn't throw that though. That was hot. So, with all of this, do you think this is more of the quarterbacks that's playing well, that focus? Because then you look at, why isn't Wentz playing like this? Or do you think it's more of the defenses?
Quarterbacks, man. Defense is going to catch up, but it's a quarterback-driven league, man. We want to see points. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So they've drawn up plays where your defensive coordinator has to focus on defense, Vic Fangio. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And nothing to take away from him, but he's a great defensive coordinator, right? So if you have him as your defensive coordinator, he can focus on being a defensive coordinator. He's able to throw all his ideas and do certain things to help with situations. You know what I mean? But these quarterbacks out here have these offensive coordinators that's doing this, open up the game. I think it's the quarterbacks playing great.
So here's what I want to shout out to, though. Let me see if I still have this up. But the thing that is dope with all of this is the fact that you have, I'm going to name these quarterbacks in the top 10. Just some of them. I'm going to name, not by order, Dak Prescott, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. I'm missing one more. Who am I missing? I said Russell Wilson. I'm missing one more. I know it's 7 of them. The top black quarterbacks that are in the top 10. I'm missing one of them. But just as far as knowing that all these quarterbacks now are playing well and doing their thing, that's pretty dope, man. You know what I'm saying? To have and to see.
Watson.
And Deshaun Watson, that's what it was. You think at one point, we grew up. I wasn't to the point. I mean, ever since I've been watching football, I was always a black quarterback.
Just Warren Moon.
But it was 2. It was Warren Moon and the other one, Randall Cunningham. That was it. But now you see you got 7, probably now consider in the top 10.
That's crazy. We still got to say that.
It's crazy. You got to say that, but it's just good.
That's
to see
all 7 black quarterbacks. The 7 you named that's in the top 10.
We got Teddy out there.
Teddy's out there. Haskins.
Oh yeah. So I mean,
and they're not playing horrible,
right? Haskins young, whatever. But hey, shout out to them, man. It's cool to see that.
No doubt.
And of course, you know how the NFL is. They see something successful,
like this,
they're gonna run with it. So, all right, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna be back to depict the NFL some more. But you don't want to miss this though. Nosy Neighbor Watch. Keep it locked.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
This is Charlie Batch, 15-year NFL veteran, 2-time Super Bowl champion, and you are listening to the 3-Point Conversion.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. All right, man, we bringing it back this year. We doing NFL style. We have Nosy Neighbor Watch, and your first time, you've been listening to the show, just start listening to it before. After last season, Nosy Neighbor Watch. What we do is, how you have that nosy neighbor. When you get home, they're always peeking, no matter what time of the day or night. They peeking, looking, trying to make sure that you're, I guess just being nosy, seeing what's going on. They real nosy. Well, that's what we're doing with the NFL right now. We're about to have our Nosy Neighbor Watch. What are we watching for? What are we peeking, being nosy about, trying to find some gossip or whatever? What is it? D, who's your Nosy Neighbor Watch?
Gee, how about them Cowboys? The reason they my Nosy Neighbor Watch, man, is they easily could be, 0-2?
Yeah.
Easily could be 0-2. I want to see how they come out of that, right? Like they got a gift. They got a gift-wrapped present from the, I guess you call them Falcons. I don't know what they call them. But they going up against the hottest quarterback on the scene right now. MVP odds are the highest right now. And this is an opportunity for them to solidify themselves, to take that, take that energy that they got from last week, still in that game, to come out and try to take a game that they're not expected to win. If they can come out and do that, then we maybe, like what Mike Irvin said, this is going to be that was the game that made them go on this run or whatever the case may be, and we can look back and say that. So we're going to see what they're going to do.
Okay. Did you got one?
Yeah. Mine is the Las Vegas Raiders. They beat Carolina in week 1. They beat New Orleans in week 2.
The breaks off of them, too.
And they pretty much had control of both of those games. But now they're going to Foxborough to play the Patriots. It'll be interesting if they come out of Foxborough with a win. They're 3-0. How seriously should we be taking the Raiders when the Chiefs have basically been handed the division at this, even before the season starts? But that Chiefs-Raiders game is going to be interesting, if they both have good records going in.
All right, I got two. Make it quick. The first one, of course, I'm watching the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not necessarily just to see if they can win, but the reason why I'm being nosy is I want to see what happens if Wentz have another bad game. I'm trying to be nosy. I'm seeing what they're going to do. Are they going to decide to make that change? What are they going to say? What are they doing on the sidelines? Has he lost the team or what? And then definitely I'm being nosy about the Los Angeles Chargers situation, because I want to see if Herbert has a good game and he balls out again, because that young boy was balling, if he does great, I want to see what's going to happen. How are the players going to respond? Because they already like him.
That's what I wonder. Like, if he has another good game, how many conspiracy theories are we going to see out there about what happened to Tyrod
Right.
Taylor?
You're going to have that. Right. All of that. But that young boy can play. He can throw the ball. And we all saw it on Hard Knocks. If y'all watch Hard Knocks, if y'all didn't, all of them, that dude throw a tight spiral. They kept saying, man, that dude can throw the ball. They were saying it's the wide receivers, even the cornerbacks. And now they're getting the ball. You know, Tyrod, he struggled the first game, you know what I'm saying? But Herbert came in and slinging that thing, and
I just won't let Tyrod Taylor live.
And it's like, I know, right? It's not, I feel you though, but that's why I want to be nosy and see.
He got ran out of Baltimore.
What happens.
He got ran out of Buffalo
by G's favorite player.
After he got him in the playoffs.
Yeah, so it's like.
He got ran out of Cleveland.
Yep.
Now he gets stabbed in the lung with a needle.
And you got this dude.
This dude take his spot.
And that dude cold too, dog. Golly. So even though we knew next year was going to be Herbert, that's the difference, I guess. And same thing in Cleveland. But I don't know, man. But that's my nosy neighbor watch. Who is your upset of the week?
Speaking of those Los Angeles Chargers, that's actually my upset pick of the week. Carolina Panthers. I think they're going to come out and Bridgewater going to do what he does, control the game, do a good job. And I think that they're going to surprise the rookie quarterback because now they're expecting him to play. Not to say that that's the only reason Justin Herbert had a good game, but it was a very last-minute type of thing. I think they're going to expect him to play, and they're going to come out and surprise him and get the pick up the win in an upset.
G?
People might not go with me on this one, and I feel like just because of you can't lose this much and then actually come out and win. I think the Giants are going to upset the 49ers.
That was one I was thinking.
Thinking of that
I was going to pick that, but I got another one. But
yeah.
Even though, I know if you heard the Fantasy Facts segment, don't start any Giants running backs. But I think collectively they'll do enough, and the 49ers are just missing too much on the defensive line. I mean, Bosa does a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Advanced numbers show he is a huge factor for them defensively, and also losing Solomon Thomas. Then you got Nick Mullins starting, who's been capable, when he's been in the game. But I think it's just too much to overcome at the first game after all of that happens.
And then that's not get it twisted. It's not like the Giants are coming in healthy as well. Cause
no, they're not.
Shepard's going to be out, which I think that's why it'll help because I like Slayton. I think now he gets more catches. So
Ingram going to get the ball more.
Oh, and not just defensively for his 49ers.
Offensively.
Coleman's out. Garoppolo's out. Kittle's out.
Mostert.
I think Mostert's questionable.
No, they got
he's
got him
listed as out.
Yeah.
But there you go.
They got him out.
That's a lot.
Let me go in and change my pick.
Right. So, yeah.
And the 49ers are somehow still favored, so that's why it would be an upset for the Giants.
And then, quickly, my upset is of the week is Houston Texans over the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just think that the Houston, they look well. Cooks looked better last week. Fuller was hurt again. But then Pittsburgh, man, I just they not playing well. Pittsburgh 2-0.
That's why you feel like it's an upset.
And I mean, I still think Pittsburgh one of the top teams in the AFC because they offensively they have everything. Defensively, they're probably the best defensive team in the league. So, but I don't know, man. I just think. And I think they're going to playing in Pitt too. I just think that Houston will go up there and get a win. I think Deshaun's going to put on that cape, and that's what it's going to be. So, speaking of picks, we've said all that. Now, I want to know your pick, D. So we're going to go through these picks. And the first game we are doing we have the L.A. Rams, going up against the Buffalo Bills. Both teams are 2-0.
Buffalo, we talked about it earlier, how Josh Allen has been playing. I think he's going to continue that as long as they can keep a hat on Aaron Donald. And I think that their defense is going to kind of slow down Goff. Not kind of. They're going to slow down Goff. Their defense is ridiculous.
G?
I'm going with the Rams on this one. I think the way they played defensively their first two games, I mean, yes, it was Dallas and the Eagles. And the Eagles are playing like trash right now. Well, Wentz specifically. But I think with it's a little bit of fool's gold. I'm not saying they're terrible, but it's a little bit of fool's gold with Buffalo right now.
All right, and I'm going Buffalo.
Okay.
I think you said Rams?
No.
Oh, I'm going with you, Buffalo.
If you're watching on Facebook Live, you'll hear us talk about the other games,
Right,
but these are the five games that we have picked.
I'm going Buffalo because right now, I the way your boy is playing now, he's gonna have to worry about Donald, but the fact that
he can get up out that
he
jam.
can get out the way, right, and then the big matchup is going to be, of course, Diggs going up against Ramsey. I think that's the biggest, I'm kind of concerned about. But yet still, I think Diggs going to hold his own. Mm-hmm. And I think defense, I don't think Rams has played against a good defense yet. So I have Buffalo winning. Next, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, first, let's go Las Vegas, New England Patriots.
New England. I think Cam has been dominating this year, and I think he's going to continue with it. I think Josh Jacobs being questionable, and if he has that hip injury, that can possibly slow their whole offense down. But they got to put somebody on Waller, or he going to dominate the game.
Even though the Raiders were part of my nosy neighbor watch, I'm still picking New England. The Raiders have given up 30 and 24 points in both of their wins. So I think the Patriots can score that much and also play well enough defensively to win the game. All
right. Dallas. Oh, before I go Dallas, I'm picking New England. I want to pick Raiders, though. I'm not going to lie. Mm-hmm. I'm doing Michael Irvin. I had to do strategy so I could keep up because we're doing a record. We're going to see who wins the most. But I want to pick the Raiders. That really is my upset pick. But I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say New England just because I really think that Cam is going to be the X factor. That's the only reason why I think they're going to win is Cam's the X factor, and they're playing at home. So, all right, Dallas, Seattle.
Russell Wilson is on a tear. I think that defense is going to be able to stop a nosebleed, especially when it comes to Seattle, how well-rounded they are, how Russell Wilson does his thing. I think defense is going to do enough. I don't think that Dallas learned their lesson last week.
I can't go against my team.
You sure? Okay.
No, don't go against them.
I'm not going to go against my team. The home field is not going to be a factor. And I think that I think Dallas will come out more aggressive offensively, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think Dallas will make enough plays.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do because we're pressed for time. I'm going to Seattle as well. So I'll ask you this: so I'll let you talk about the Patriots and Packers because you picked the Packers. So why do you have the Packers?
The Saints don't have after what I saw against the Raiders. And Michael Thomas isn't playing, and the Packers are on fire offensively. I think that's going to be too much for New Orleans.
I need the Saints to win.
Yeah, I want the Saints to win.
I know, and y'all can't pick the Packers. That's why I think y'all pick the Saints. Y'all can't pick the Packers for nothing.
Real quick, I just picked them because I don't think. Not saying New Orleans defense has been great, but I don't think Packers hadn't played anybody with a defense. So I think that's why they're putting because the offense has been struggling at times. They struggled, then they just burst out and just start scoring. So that's why. And then last game, we all picked Baltimore over KC. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. But those are our picks. So we're gonna keep a record for this. We're gonna take a quick break. and we will be back. Keep it locked. More sports.
Hey folks, Handsome Josh is here to reveal some big news to all the AM 1100 listeners.
I have an app.
That's right, you can now check out all your favorite programs right here on The Real with the Real 1100 app. Whether it's sports, entertainment, or lifestyle, the Real 1100 definitely has you covered.
So why don't you just tell me how much it's going to cost me?
And here's the best part. It's available in your Google Play or Apple App Store, and it's free to download.
Actually, you can count me in on this one.
So download the Real 1100 app today and stay in tune with The Real.
Happy Saturday, sports fans. It's your boy Sherm, a.k.a. the Lord of the Beats, and you are currently inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with my man's Mr. Controversy, D Intellectual, and of course my dog G behind the boards. Cheers to the freaking weekend.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Okay, so we have a special guest. We got Major League Baseball about to head to the playoffs, and we have 3-Point Conversion Zone MLB analyst, Mr. Cortland Griffin. What's going on, Cortland?
Not much, man. How y'all doing?
We're good. We're good. So let's get to it. I want to ask you, with 1 week to go, the AL Central, White Sox was up ahead, and
I was just going to say, tell him don't pick the White Sox because you picked them last week and they went 1-5.
Right, and D was talking mess. So I wish Cortland was, and now they've lost 6 in a row.
Right,
but it's one game. It's all 3 teams: Minnesota Twins, Chicago White Sox, and Cleveland Indians. They're all separated by 1 game. Minnesota on top. Who comes out?
Well, that's where this becomes a tough pick. And this is one of those divisions where you have to look deeper into what all 3 teams do well, and like you said, how close the race is. You have to look at schedule and the whole 9 yards. The White Sox just dropped. They just kind of wet the bed against the Cubs. In the Battle of Chicago, that's not something that you want to do in that situation. Definitely with you being the leader of that division and the Cleveland Indians catching fire right now. I have to pick the Cleveland Indians at this point. Their offense, like when the season started, their offense looked lethargic. It looked like every time they would catch some momentum, it would, the White Sox would come along or the Twins would come along or someone would come along in that. And then they would have to start it all back up again. It just seemed like they would sputter out every time they got momentum. Now that momentum has caught up. Now their bats are catching fire. Now they're actually hitting home runs. They're actually getting long innings, or and extending scoring runs. That's dangerous. If you're the White Sox, I would be scared. And right now, the Cleveland Indians are the team to beat in that division.
All right. Now, in the NL, you got 5 teams fighting for the last 3 playoff spots. Who do you believe are the best? Are the 2 teams out?
So the 2 teams out in that situation. This was another hard one, but I had to pick the Mets in Milwaukee. You just have to pick the odd teams out. All the 7 teams that are in contention are all hot right now. They're all good teams. I know what I said last time about the Mets, but they've changed. And that's the thing about the MLB this season. In the past, you can go 3 months and your predictions would stick. You can go 6 months and your predictions would stick. This year with the pandemic shortened season, there's so many close races. There's so many teams that are catching fire. There are so many teams, and like I said on the last show, when you have teams in a shortened season, 60 games. You're going to have guys. This is where the mid-season push would start to come up, and this is where these teams are. They're in that mid-season swing. They're mid-season form. They're making that push, and you're seeing guys' bats start to catch fire. But right now, Milwaukee and the New York Mets are the odd man out because they're catching. It's too late for them to catch fire. It's just too late. The other teams, St. Louis, Cincinnati, San Francisco, Philly, Miami, those teams have had ups and downs, but they had more ups than downs. Milwaukee and New York, they had more downs than ups, and it's showing right now. And it's sad because we're only going to have the 16-team playoff, and if we had 18, those two would be right in the mix. But since we only have 16, two teams have to go home. Someone has to have their heart broken, and it's unfortunately the Mets and the Brewers.
Man, they better be lucky. In 16, it was only 2.
Yeah.
No, it used to be the pennant.
At first, we was happy when they said it, like,
right.
certain teams going to be in there
regardless. Remember, it's just be pennant. But all right. So, Houston Astros, we talked about them last week. Now, all of a sudden, they've clinched. Even though they have the last spot in the playoffs in the West, or whatever, they might, I don't know now, but they could get the 7th seed. But either or, with Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, and Verlander's out for the year.
Right.
But can you see this team making a deep run?
Unfortunately, no. The experience that team has is great. Out with Altuve, and with Altuve, his experience at bat is amazing. His ability to steal bases, but to me, and this is, and no pun intended, without sign stealing, I don't see this team really making any noise in the playoffs at this point. It's too many teams that can out talent them, and in the past, that's what has happened. If you look at what has happened over the course of history, teams with experience, the MLB is the only league that is still still a talent-driven league outside of like the NBA, of course. Where you have 2 superstars, those guys can directly impact the game. But if you have a guy who you can walk him, like with the Yankees, if you walk Giancarlo Stanton and you walk Aaron Judge, who do you have behind those 2 guys that can really get you offense? After Jose Altuve, who do they have that can get them offense at bat? No one. With Justin Verlander out, you don't have a pitcher that can get you strikeouts in big situations or in those pressure situations. So I don't see them making a lot of noise. They may win the first series. They may win that wild card series. But after that, it's too many. There's too many teams there that can out-talent them and have deeper and have more depth in the bullpen and in the batting order that can affect them and frustrate that Houston team.
What's your prediction for the World Series matchup and who wins?
This is a rough one for me. The most dangerous. I have my 2 most dangerous teams right now for the AL are the Yankees. I said that before. I'm going to stick with that. They're just the most dangerous team. They're getting healthy at the right time. Their bullpen is catching fire at the right time. Their batting is the batting order is getting like hitting that midseason stride at the right time. So they're the most dangerous team for me in the AL. In the NL, I got to go with San Diego. San Diego has been the team that that has caught my eye. I know what the Dodgers are doing. I see what the Dodgers are. They're the Milwaukee Bucks of the MLB. They have all the talent. They have the star talent in Mookie Betts. They have the supporting cast. My only issue with them is, are they getting too comfortable? And with a team like San Diego, with the Padres, hot on their heels, and they're hungry, will they catch them? You know what I'm saying? And catch them sleeping. I think they will. So my prediction is New York versus San Diego. And unfortunately, I got to pick against my Yankees. I got to go with San Diego Padres winning the World Series this year.
Wow. All right.
About them
there
fish.
You have it. I know, right?
The Miami Marlins, they never lost a postseason series.
I know, right? But, all right, man, we definitely appreciate you for coming on. Definitely be looking to have you back soon with these playoffs starting. All right. So appreciate it.
One more thing, guys.
Yeah.
I know that, we just re-signed, or Giancarlo Stanton just opted back in, and there were rumors that he was going to leave. But is there really any rumors that people are going to leave the Yankees?
No,
Come on, guys.
He started those rumors.
You already know that. Right. All right. Well, we appreciate you, Cortland. All right. So, man, that was Great show. Good stuff. Good stuff. D, before we start this music, I just want the teams. Who was your prediction?
For what, the
Major League?
Major League? The Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox.
Yo, I'm going. You know what?
I'm gonna say the Cubs and probably the Yankees.
I'm going to say the Cubs. I'm say the Cubs and Houston. I want the Yankees to go. I think it's going, but I'm gonna say Cubs. I think Houston's gonna surprise everybody. Then they're gonna surprise everybody.
They deserve to get swept in the first.
They do, but they're gonna get hot. But all right, when you hear this music, you already know what it means. It means it is time to let you go. But before we let you go, we have a couple of shout-outs to stay tuned because you might be one of them. Definitely want to give a shout-out to the Almighty God for giving me this platform, man, giving us this platform, but personally giving me this platform to do what I do, say what I say, make people happy, upset, mad, want to give me the stop it button. God, I definitely appreciate it, man. We're going to keep this thing rolling, continue to make you happy and proud of us. Also, I want to thank all of our guests. I want to thank Cortland Griffin. I want to thank Dr. Fowler. And I want to thank our sponsors, Ortho Atlanta. I want to thank my guy G and my road dog D Intellectual.
Shout out to everybody that continues to listen to us every week. Follow us everywhere that you guys follow us and continue tuning in, checking us out. Thanks to friends and family for always being supportive. Special shout out to the OG and my sister. Birthdays were this past week. Gonna go get up with them now. And everybody just have a great weekend.
Yes, and shout out to them cheese biscuits. Demetrius, you got to give me some, dog. You got to let me taste one of them, dog.
Cheese biscuits,
but I would definitely thank my beautiful wife. Shout out to my beautiful wife, my lovely children, my brothers and sisters, nieces, nephews, cousins, grandparents, parents. Who else I'm missing? I think aunties, uncles, and all my play cousins. Make sure you love on family. Let them know that you love them while they're still alive. Love on them while they can appreciate it. Eat good, like D's gonna be eating. Eat good, stay safe, be healthy, and until then, next week, same time, same show, same crazy host, same sports nonsense. Will you miss me? I'm out. Peace. You just got done listening to the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at the 3 Point Conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.
You're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today.